has some level of flaw, you know. Now, you seem to have a very high level of contradiction, but whatever, this is not about. So you're saying that the will of God, or the light, if you will, is refracted through the prism of the vessel. And if the vessel itself is flawed, well then, the light's going to come out in a flawed way. And I think that's actually a stunningly brilliant perception. You know, one of the ways that people call that these days, you know, is what we call states and stages. I'll just give it to you really in 1 second. I think you'll like the idea. So let's say you have 3 stages of moral consciousness. Let's say egocentric, all about me, ethnocentric, my people, world-centric, everybody, okay? And let's say that's your stage of consciousness, you know, Colbert, your moral stage. Then you have a state, means your mystical state, your beautiful state. Your state comes and goes. So if I had a beautiful mystical state experience, but I'm at an ethnocentric level of consciousness, that's my vessel is ethnocentric. Let's say I'm a shaman, but I'm ethnocentric, it's just my people. So I'll say, well, I said this beautiful mystical Semitic state, let's go slaughter the next tribe. Right? Because my stage of consciousness is ethnocentric, that's the vessel. And what you pointed out, which I think is gorgeous and true, and the Talmud talks about it, is that who you are is the prism through which the light's refracted. This is a beautiful idea by itself. You know, so in other words, you can be really great on the meditation mat, you know, but you may have a terrible shadow you haven't integrated. And if it's a narcissistic personality disorder, which is an example that you gave, well, that's going to come through. It's a very powerful perception, which means, for you, for me, for everybody, that we need to do 2 kinds of work in the world, because we're all in perfect vessels for the light. One kind of work we have to do is our states. We have to try and get to deep understanding, intellect, spiritual states. We also have to work on ourselves spiritually, ethically, psychologically, because you can be psychologically completely messed up when you're having beautiful state experiences. Is that reflecting correctly? I think that's a gorgeous perception. So I appreciate that. So basically, there's a contradiction. It's a deep, unresolved contradiction in you. You know, the analogy to the movie, you know, I don't mean to, God forbid, no analogy between you and Hitler, but that's not my point at all. But, you know, well, no, it's not cool. But you basically, a guy likes puppies on the one hand, you know, on the other hand, you know, he's gassing Jews. You're trying to go at that level of deep and profound contradiction. Okay.
And I like puppies.
And I like puppies. But you don't gas Jews.
But I don't gas Jews.
But you do bad shit on the web.
Thursdays is total gas-free day.
They're just gas-free day? That's good to hear. That's good to hear. Well, I just wanted to tell you, Luke, you know, that, you know, all this talk about me sexual harassing, I'm really just into barnyard animals. You know? We're trying to keep that quiet. But Gafni is into barnyard animals. Oh my God. And I'm also responsible for global warming. No one knows that. Global warming is me. You know? And I've got something to do with famine in Africa. You know? But could you not disperse the tape too big? Just kind of between us and stuff? Alright, cool. Secret safe. Secret safe with Luke 4. And hey, how many people listening? How safe would that make you feel? Alright. So let me go on a little bit, okay? So thank you. Let's go to step 2. The second thing we talked about today was a kind of natural division we had talking in the car and talking to, what was his name? Morgan. As we were buying our, you know, thank you for your my digital tape recorder. And Lucas pointed out that 99% of the world is ahead of me, and I'm hijacked, and I'm a bad driver. But you're also a bad driver.
Yes.
Okay. So we're talking to Morgan, and we had this little, you know, conversation which came up a couple of times, which is, are people basically good? Are people basically bad stuff? People are basically bad. And my basic position is, I'm just going to say it again, if I'm saying it inaccurately, correct me, right? But my basic position is, people often act out of narrow self-interest, but at their deepest place, you know, people are ultimately good. You know, that at their deepest place, you know, people are divine. You know, at their deepest place, people are gorgeous, they're beautiful. You know, at their deepest place, they're
I'm concerned that you'll run over your phone with the show.
Thank you. That's your goodness coming through, Luke. See, just look at that. That was
I'm done with why don't you put it there? So
put it there. See, but that was purely altruistic. You had no interest in that. You were purely concerned, right? You had no reason to tell me that. Why'd you do it? And no goodness. You were taking care of me in that moment, right? And I appreciate it. Right? It's complete goodness. Yeah. But let me just try and frame it. I'll give it over to you. you and you'll say whatever you say. You know, but my basic feeling is that ultimately, people at their core actually love other people. People at their core actually want to be good. People at their core are good. People at their core feel better when they're living meaningful lives. People at their core are what we call in Judaism homo imago Dei. Well, that's Latin, but Shalom Elohim, right? They're Dante called baby-faced divines. People are beautiful. They're loving, right? People are devastated when they're betrayed. They're devastated because of the violation of something essential and beautiful in a human being. You know, people feel most alive and most aligned with the universe, with divinity, you know, the way the Calvinists would say it, when they're actually expressing their basic good nature.